everybody, Lenny here. Happy Wednesday. How are you doing? Did you have a nice day or are you just waking up? How did you sleep? Let me know how you are today. It's already quite dark outside, as you might be able to see. It's already almost 7 p.m. but I did mention in my vlog yesterday that today I'm gonna have to work. I'm gonna have to get back on track, get ready for the end of Vlogtober, get my next project ready. So today was a work day and I've been working up till now, so I'm so happy with that. I'm very proud of myself. I know I procrastinate a lot, especially when it comes to art, so today, pat on the back. But I'm not gonna leave you a vlogless for today. Today, together, you and I, we are gonna go and do the next challenge on the 21-day/21 week challenge, and I've received that yesterday. I've had time to skim through it and I just did it now. So as usual, I get a challenge. I don't want to call it a challenge. Let's say I get an exercise to help you discover things you didn't know about yourself, some hidden talents, some hidden passions, some childhood wishes that you buried and that you can make come true today, etc, etc. For those who have not been with me since the beginning, I have here my dream book where I've been doing my exercises. That was one of the things we had to do. The first lesson, apart from reading the course, we had to find out what we enjoyed as a child, what made us feel good, what made us feel calm, just all those childhood memories that made you feel really good and yummy emotions. And then we taught ourselves how to bring them back into the present. And the second lesson was me creating my ideal world. If you remember, I did a big cardboard cutout where I put a bunch of magazines on them, and you just had to see what was the general message with this planet and how you can get closer to living in that world, etc, etc. The third exercise was things that have happened to you in your past life, but more family oriented, things that happened with your parents, your siblings, other members of the family, and what lessons you have learned from these experiences. Mainly, focusing on the positive experiences, even if it was something like, oh, my parents were never around. Maybe that means that now you're very independent as a person and that you can take care of yourself. That's just an example, but that's what we did last week. And this week is called Treasures from the Past, so translating from French. Yeah, this is lesson 4. Let's get right to it. So Treasures of the Past, this is in French, of course. I'm translating it for you in English. So go get your dream book or whatever you named your special notebook. And we are going to answer some questions today. So we're going to answer some questions about the time where you were very small, so a child, and then around the time where you were a teenager, and then we're going to move forward basically. So let's get right to it. So when you were a child, what was your favorite toy? What was your favorite thing, your favorite pastime, your favorite thing to do during playtime? And I basically wrote that I really loved playing with my stuffed toys, my stuffed animals. I loved making little shows with them and creating stories. I definitely preferred my stuffed toys than my Barbies and my dolls. And the other thing I really enjoyed doing was drawing. I remember drawing a lot. So the next question is, what was called your best friend? Of course, I'm not going to tell you my first best friend's name, but I wrote it down. And what I forgot to say is that if any emotions or feelings or other random memories pop up while you answer these questions, don't forget to write them down. And usually when I recall my friendships, my early friendships in the past, I have this certain melancholy feeling. I feel a bit sad, I feel a bit angry, I feel a bit resentful for some reason, but that's something that happens a lot when I remember my early years. Don't know why yet. So third question, did you have pets when you were younger? Which ones? What were they called? Well, I had a lot of fish to start with. I had a small aquarium in my room with a bunch of fish, and I really enjoyed that. But the thing is, was that I really yearned for an animal that I could cuddle and play with, so not fish. We also had some hens at some point, so fish, hens, not very cuddly. I know that much. Well, at some point we finally got a cat, and then we got a dog, and then after that came a whole bunch of animals, which was just amazing. What type of wild animal made you dream? That's kind of a strange translation, but you get what I mean. I used to really like dolphins, but I have a feeling that it's kind of the typical girl animal at that age. It's like the magical under the sea animal, like with the mermaids, and dolphins are portrayed as being like so nice and intelligent when in fact they're complete assholes. I also really liked lions, but that was because of the Lion King, I think. When you were in primary school, what was your favorite lesson, I think? That's how you translate that. And what did you like about it? My favorite lesson was, well, French, but I mean, it's everything to do with grammar and writing and things like that. And I think I liked it because I understood it. I understood what I was learning, and I felt good at it, and I liked feeling good at something. Not that I was completely dumb in every other course that I was given, but French, I felt good. So that's the only reason I liked it, and it's probably close to the fact that I enjoy writing to this day. So, what was your favorite playground game? I wrote down talking to people, but it's actually quite sad because in primary school I did not have many friends. I mean, I had one best friend at one time, and we enjoyed talking and playing with Pokemon cards or playing with marbles or whatever was the trend at the time. But she left at one point, and then I was alone a lot, and I was actually bullied at some point, so I was alone a lot of the time. So I'm gonna say I enjoyed talking with my friends if I had any. I know it sounds really sad, but that's the truth. That's what happened. So again, this is a very cringy memory. I feel disappointed. Like, I disappoint myself. Like, I was that child. I was that lonely girl hiding in the bathroom and being bullied. But that's the reality of it. Who was your favorite hero out of a book or a comic book or a cartoon? I'm that kid that lives for the imaginary. So I had tons of heroes, so I don't know which one was my favorite. I wrote down a few, but that's just like a few, right? I used to really like Aladdin and Simba. I liked Mulan. I really liked Mulan. She was like really strong and tough, but I did like Ariel. But I mean, I guess she also goes like out there. She makes up her mind and she goes against her parents and stuff. What was your favorite food? I wrote, I just loved mashed potato. Mashed potato with apple sauce and veggie sausages. I used to love that. I mean, put all the food together. To this day, I still love that so much. Now we go on to the teenage years. Less questions, I think. What was your favorite music? I wrote down rock. I got into rock during those years. I absolutely loved it. I used to love how rough and energetic it was. It made me feel like a badass. It made me feel stronger. I still love it to this day. I mean, I listened to a lot more different things, but at that time it made me feel so strong, and that's where my strength came. That's where I started loving music and just rocking out and having my own taste. So rock is just the beginning of me, being independent, having different tastes of music from either Disney or my parents used to listen to. My passions at that age were still drawing and writing, so same things as now. favorite read. Oh god, I read a lot at that time. I wish I still read as much as I did at that time. So what did I write? Oh yeah, I got into manga. So I used to love Nana. I used to love Fruit Basket. I know that I read like a series of Unfortunate Events, which I really loved. I read like the whole thing, whole series. I can't really narrow it down to what was my favorite read, but I used to love reading. So I should actually add, I used to love writing and drawing and reading. Those were my passions. I just loved to get into this different world and atmosphere. Just loved it. Name of my best friend, well, I had a group of friends who I loved to death during those years. I mean, if you have friends, a steady group of friends during your teenage years, I mean, that is the best thing. So yeah, I'm not gonna name them obviously, but I love those girls. They helped me through my teenage years and we helped each other. It says first love. Well, yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not sure exactly the first time, like, it depends. I mean, I used to crush on guys all the time in high school. I mean, I started crushing on guys when I was really young, before high school, so I don't know how to define my first love. I think I remember being like head over heel, like in love with this guy, but we never went out, so when I think about it now, I don't feel like it was like the real thing. So first love, I don't know. I just don't know. I think I just wrote down too many crushes, and I think that says enough about myself to not have to name anyone. Okay, the next category is called these past 5 years. Translating again. What are 5 things that you are very proud of having done during these past 5 years? And for each of them, you need to write down which qualities you had to use, which skills you had to use to get to where you did. That was very hard for me to think about for some reason, maybe because these past 5 years are kind of like mashed into one another. So I wrote down, and these are in completely random order because I had to remember and then go back and then blah blah blah. I wrote down, and I think these are these past 5 years probably. I finished art school, and that was really tough for me because when I got there, everybody had already taken, well, most of the people had either come from another art school or had an artistic background, and I was just like, hey, I want to draw, and they let me in for some reason. And just being there, I felt like, oh, I'm the worst in school and I'm never gonna succeed, and I almost quit after a few months. So finishing those 3 years of art school was definitely something I'm proud of. So I'm probably not going to tell you all the qualities I used, but a lot of hard work, acceptance that I was not going to be the best. So God, why did I write them in French? I wrote some in French and some in English in my dream book. Willpower, faith, well, etc. you get the gist, right? I also wrote as number 2 that I moved out from my parents' place. So during art school I had a student flat, and then from the student flat I moved back, and then I moved out again. Long story short, this is my first apartment. I'm still in it, but it was hard to get here, hard to get where I am now. So that was a lot of bravery, of strength, independence, and also willpower, because I was very scared and very unsure at that time. So very proud of myself for that. Number 3, I decided that I wanted an art career. Not an easy decision. So after art school, I started doing random jobs. A lot of people already know this. I did a lot of random odd jobs, and then I ended up starting working for a airline company where I was cabin crew, and I hated it. Like, I really hated it. And then I got another job, which I quit a few months ago. Well, I quit. not at that job anymore a few months ago, and I did not enjoy that either. So I was like, why can't I find my place? And then I just figured out it's because I need to work at something I love. I can't spend my life doing something that I don't give a crap about. So I decided that officially I'm gonna work into art is gonna be my breadwinner. I don't know how I'm gonna do it yet, but it was a big decision somehow. I mean, it's like I knew it all along, but I was in denial, like, no, it's gonna be my main hobby, and it's gonna get me somewhere, but I'm gonna need a full-time job. Now I'm still unsure on how I'm gonna do it, but I know that that's what I want. So big milestone. Okay, the next one, I think it's within the 5-year range, is that I managed to get into modeling. Not anymore, I haven't done it for over a year now, but I wanted to model, and I'm probably gonna make a whole video about this, so I'm gonna skip through most of it, but I did want to model for since I was at least 16, but I didn't feel up to it. I was very shy, I didn't feel pretty. And then when I was around 19, I thought, okay, this is like my last chance, I'm gonna try. A bunch of agencies said no, 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 no. But I started finding photographers who were looking for models who would work for free, so they would do their own projects. So I managed to get like some kind of portfolio. One agency said yes, even though I barely worked with that agency. I was very happy to get into it, but most of my jobs were done via me contacting people contacting me, because that other person talked about, well, you know, creating like a circle where I could get some odd jobs. And even though I think I've been paid for a few jobs, but hardly any. I enjoyed myself, I did it, it was kind of a dream for me. I wish I could have gone further, but that's just where the road stopped, and I'm very happy to have done it, so very proud of that. I'm realizing that I'm forgetting to state all the skills. So moved out, I already said. Wanted an odd career. I have to accept failure from sticking with any job. Strength, I had to start over again and again and again. Resilience for modeling, it was like willpower, initiative, boldness, being outgoing, being brave, because when you're walking the runway in front of all these people in high heels, I mean, holy crap, it's like the biggest rush. Once you get over the fear, it's like the biggest rush ever. Anyway, and the final one, I had to think about it, and I just put something because I couldn't think about anything else. But this year I did do my first art exhibition. It was a collective exhibition. It was a small time thing, but I did it. It's my first one, probably the first and hopefully the first to many more, but I did it. So it was a lot of hard work, and I know it sounds weird to say like it's brave, but working on something and being unsure and lacking self-confidence, and then going from there to putting your artwork on the wall, and that's something. It's gotta be something, right? Anyway, and the final part, God, and I have a throat ache too. My throat is killing me. Is to look at all the answers and see if there's like a connecting line, connecting story. Like it says a red thread. I'm not sure if that translates into English, but anyway, if there's something that connects everything together, I wrote down that I kind of live in an imaginary world, which is good and bad. I have a lot of ideals and wishes and dreams, and sometimes I go off to La La Land, but that also shows that I love to create and make things up and draw, and I'm a creative person, basically. That's the main thing. I also wrote that I'm very selective with my friends. I I wrote down that I don't like to stay with the past. I always need to move forward. That's something that I noticed. A lot of these things I've already been over with my 50 facts about me video, so go check that out. But so it's just same general idea. I like feeling free. I need to feel unique and appreciated. I'm a very sensitive person, and I'm also a hopeless romantic, and that's what I got out of this. But creativity is definitely number one, and that I already knew. I mean, it's one of my decisions. I'm gonna do an art career, whether it's YouTube or painting or digital painting or writing, or I'm gonna live off creativity because that's what I'm here to do. Anyway, this is gonna be a hella long video to edit. Probably, I hope it might be a very long video for you to watch. I went as fast as I could, so hopefully not too fast. But right now it's time to eat. It's time for me to stop talking because tomorrow my throat is gonna be worse again. Tomorrow I have something very exciting. I hope I get to film some of it, but I'm gonna be out. So stay tuned. Anyway, let me know what your conclusion to this was, your own like connecting point was for this. I'm very interested to know, so leave it in the comments. Let me know if you've been following from the first lesson, that's for sure. Kudos to you. And yeah, comment, subscribe, like the video. So I reward you all. Have a nice evening wherever you are, wherever you're at the day, wherever you are at in the day, guys. So yeah.